Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out something called Hets by developer Ditto. This is a very stylized, procedural-generated platform/shooter. Sort of, if you could think of a side-scrolling Binding of Isaac or something like that, and it is totally free, and it is quite good, and also quite beautiful at the same time. So let's jump into things. Wanted to say right off the bat, you might want to turn down the screen shake to 50%, because it gets pretty wild when you start shooting at a lot of things, and yeah, so probably set the options something like this if you like. This game does support 360 controller natively, so I'm happy to do that. I actually had it set up in Joy-to-Key and then realized actually my controls were doubled because I didn't really assume for some reason it would already work. So that's, in one case, me making more work for myself. Anyway, let's start a new game, and also make note, of course, of the very detailed analytics here, and, well, maybe not super detailed, but more so than usual. 17 games played, high score is game number 11, level 5 is what I made it to, and a minute 13 with 26 kills, I guess is the longest game I've had. Yeah, games are very difficult in this one, so be prepared to lose a lot. So here's our character. We play this little kind of squiggly blob man, who is drawn out of doodles, and that's totally cool. And casts a bright blue light, and also all the things around you cast lights too. So we'll make note of that, because it'll actually be kind of a quick visual cue to see your way around a level. And the main goal is to use your weapon to break all of the statues in each level, and then find your way to the exit. It's pretty simple, but there's going to be a lot of enemies and a lot of gunfire. So let's grab our weapon, and he's going to tell us about, like, how we should probably, blow stuff up, and that's really all. So let's go to the door, noting the beautiful particles, and let's see what we get. So first level, we're presented with, it looks like a pretty easy one. We've got a couple of flies around. These guys will charge us if we get too close. And I haven't spent a ton of time with this game or anything, but in the little time that I have, I've come a long way in my learning curve on this particular game. The first couple of games I had, I barely even got off the first floor, and you can actually totally just have a terrible run because you got a bad first screen or something like that. So now we get to pick up some power-ups. We can choose this one. You get revenge when you get hurt. You can have bullets split into more bullets, or you can have enemy bullets be slower. Okay, these are actually all pretty good power-ups. I'm going to choose that the enemy bullets be slower, because actually my damage is not terrible. You'll probably die anyway, thanks. That's very optimistic of you to say. And this is going to actually save me a lot of trouble if I get into a situation where we end up covered in, like, skull enemies. You'll see them at some point, I'm sure. And their thing is basically they just act like flying turrets and just shoot at me from all directions. But it looks like this case, we actually ended up getting more melee-oriented enemies, so I kind of chose poorly on that one, although it's randomized, so I didn't really know what I was going to get myself into beforehand. So let's just hit Y and we'll do a quick reset, and looks like we're getting more flies for stage 1. No problem, I like these flies for stage 1. This is an easy beginner level. And this guy hopefully won't even bother me. And there we go. We're out of that level. What do we have for power-ups now? Danger makes the world slower, so you get sort of like a bullet time matrix dodge thing going on. No pushback from the gun, or enemy bullets will be slower. I just want to see what this one makes it look like. I haven't actually... Horrible choice, thanks very much. This guy is constantly trying to make me feel bad for my decisions. So I just want to kind of say, like, man, this game is pretty... Oh my goodness, I am doing really poorly already. But having the active dynamic lights going on all of the enemies, and then all of the stuff when you fire your gun, how it's leaving like a bullet contrail and changing... Oh, don't trap me in the corner, man. It's leaving a contrail of light that moves along and actually affects the other lights and blends them and creates new colors and everything. It's really nice, and the particles hanging in the air and all of that stuff too, as well as the diverse enemies and just the sort of strange off-kilter style that this developer has is, for me, really just attractive and makes me want to play the game more. I know it seems a little superficial sometimes to get into just like really wanting to be more fanatical about a game because of the art style, but I don't think it can be really separated. It's sort of part of the whole package, right? So I died again really quickly. No problem, we'll get a good run in here probably before we call it a day. But in general, the bite-sized nature of this game combined with the graphical style, sort of easy to pick up, hard to master sort of gameplay, a lot of that stuff goes a long way. You have less life, but you regenerate over time, and a helping fairy will follow you around. I don't know what a helping fairy is going to do, but that might be neat, because I haven't actually seen that before. Terrible choice again. I've had this guy give me compliments before, ever since I started recording. Everything is terrible. Alright, so these are the skull enemies I was talking about. They look like the logo from the skateboard company Zero. And it looks like our helper fairy is actually helpful for once. So our helper fairy is going to shoot our gun at these enemies and act sort of like a turret. I definitely don't think you can escape some Binding of Isaac comparisons here. I don't think that they're entirely off base either. But there is something about this style of gameplay that is also quite compelling too. I think there's a lot of potential for strategy here too, although I haven't seen quite all of the power-ups yet, so I imagine some are drastically better than others. You'll have revenge when you get hurt. Well, hopefully I won't get hurt. Statues drop helping hearts or healing hearts. Bullets split into more bullets. I'm really into this one. I also want to see if my helping fairies bullets will also split into more bullets, because that'll actually give me another advantage. Doesn't look like they do, though. Oh well. The chance of these bullets, though, splintering off and causing more collateral damage is, like, one of my best chances for actually having fairly good survival. I've had a couple of builds where if things felt like they kept going in my direction, that maybe I was going to be kind of overpowered, and I'm not sure that there was a lot that the game could have really done to compensate, because you can get multiple bullets that all splinter off into each other, and all of a sudden you've covered the entire world in bullets, and I don't really know what can happen to cause those bullets not to be effective anymore, unless one of the enemies just has like a crazy shield or something. What does this do? Revenge when you get hurt, makes the world slower, and shoot more bullets. Yeah, I want that. Because now we've got multiple bullets splintering off, and like I said, this is sort of going in that direction now. Alright, this is actually a really good draw. For the weapons that I have, these are all enemies that mostly are just going to kind of wander into my way and then get killed. So that's exactly what I want to see. Let's just not, like, run out into them and do something dumb and end up not having a successful run here. I don't actually know what success means in this game, other than just lasting as long as possible. That may be all that there is to it. Maybe the game just scales and gets more and more difficult forever. Or maybe there's, like, bosses or something. I haven't actually gotten very far to know. But I'm doing some good damage on this level, and things are feeling fine. Where are our statues, by the way? There's one over there on the right. I head over in that direction now. Watch out for these maggots that are totally giving me a Super Meat Boy vibe. And there we go, doors open. Very happy our character has a double jump, by the way. That makes a substantial difference. No pushback from the gun, enemy bullets slower, or less life but regenerate over time. I don't really want to lose life, but I really like the idea of regenerating. I mean, I have a total of 3 health, so if I have less life, what is that going to put me at, honestly? I'm going to be at 2 or 1? Well, it's got to be 2, otherwise 1, I'm just dead. Let's go for no pushback and just see how that works for us. Definitely my most successful run in, like, the best synergy for items. Largely, oh god, there's well, now we have an answer to my question. What could the game do to counter when I get this powerful? There was a turret shooting homing missiles at me, and I didn't even notice that's what it was until I was already dead. That's the wild world of Hets for you. This is actually a really fun game. I definitely urge you to go give it a play. Let me know what you think about it. It's totally free to download, and it is a fantastic value for free. I would actually have totally paid $5 for this and not thought twice. So in a way, you know, I want to kind of support this developer now more because this is really good. So yeah, go give it a download. Let me know what you think, and give it a try. See if you can get further than I did there. I mean, that was an okay run, but I certainly think there's a lot of room for improvement. And now that I know that I need to watch out for those turrets, maybe I'll be more successful in the future. Bullet split into more bullets, shield protecting you from bullets, and you have revenge when you get hurt. Bullet split into more bullets is always my choice. Yeah, so in general, just let me know your comments and opinions on this. If you think there's anything particularly fantastic or really poorly done, let me know those things as well. I do think the one kind of objective thing, at least for, well, okay, if I say objective, but just for me, that doesn't really count, does it? The one subjective criticism that I would give, if anything, is, like, setting the screen shake to 100% is excessive. I think at 50% it's probably adequate. But, you know, that's, like, one little toggle that is actually there to be toggled, so I can't really criticize that as if it's, like, a real problem. I would have just, you know, thought that maybe more sensible to set it at 50% or off. But then again, probably people would just miss out on it if it was set to off and they would never try and toggle it back on. I could also see some really good potential for, like, various visual filters that could make this even more cool looking, or just, like, derivations. Maybe unlocks as you get further into the game. Have it do crazy psychedelic things with the lights or something, because I like the visual approach to this game. And maybe some more music would be warranted as well. But those are really the nitpicky things that I could come up with. In general, this is a really solid game. Go give it a play, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. Leave a like on this one if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.